Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. This is reversed. It's reversed, which is different than my phone. My phone did the reversing, I think. Whatever that means, I'm not really sure. I've called this morning's live the dental van. Look, I'm not going to be subtle about this. I have major concerns that there is a global organised crime ring taking place in dental clinics. Mainly because there would be no other place that would be better suited, no other industry, to sneak something like this in. So, don't take my word for it. Maybe do your own homework. That's number one. So what we're going to do is, in the spirit of the dental van and of the health, what the fuck was the one with the giraffe? I'm going to institute nationally a global female awareness van that comes and explains to male students the very real dangers that women will potentially cause to them in their lives. That we're inundated by the things like redbacks and snakes and stingrays and jellyfish. But in Australia, we have a large European female population that has not harmoniously integrated with the land here. And you'll notice that there is a major difference between, if you take, say, an Aboriginal woman, beautiful Aboriginal woman in complete harmony with her land base, and then you take a European descendant woman, there is a major difference. And this has led to a catastrophic situation in our entire continent where those women are able to be coaxed into it's something like a communist attempted genocide onto their own people so that they can maintain their intensive care status of themselves, because that is what they require when compared to an Aboriginal woman in Australia. Probably the most dangerous thing ever. I've been tried to be killed by Australian women since before I was even actually born. It was Australian women that decided that my mother was mentally ill, and it was Australian women that decided all the things of her healthcare, including medication throughout that, including taking just a large female-led ideology of health, but radically, you'll notice radically disconnected from the native example. That led obviously to such extreme measures as the stolen generation. It was kind of a stolen generation hall of mirrors in which increasingly large numbers of European women decided to steal everyone's children, including their own, and try and kill them. Because everything is just so fucking dangerous that everything needs to fucking die. Now, I don't know where it's best to start. I don't know whether we get like a whiteboard. I'm probably going to need a big whiteboard because there are a lot of ways that European descendant Australian. I don't think the Aboriginal women consider these women to be Australian, but there's a lot of ways that this cohort of European descendant female entities roaming the Australian wilderness, not really, they don't roam the Australian wilderness. They require a ever-increasing slave encampment to be situated at close at hand to harvest the young men's physical abilities, not to a progressive skill set and family situation, just useless idiots that they can use until dispatch. which is just a gentle kick off a cliff. Oh, there you go. We've used you up. Off you pop. So if you see this is an Australian man being kicked off a cliff by the Australian women. Can you see that? Just there. Once their usable kind of function is all used up, and this, of course, is to appease the radical feminist ideology that basically Australia belongs to European descendant women. And the real crazy thing is now that the new arrivals of European descendant women are just skipping all of the thing, and they just go straight to the top. If you're a white, blonde woman with blue eyes, blonde-haired woman with blue eyes, and you come to Australia and you live in the Australia Labor Party sponsored intensive care unit, so make sure that you don't get sunburnt or stung by an ant or something like that, you go straight to the top of the gene pool, apparently, and you are given free rein to utilise the entire infrastructure of the Australian government to dispatch any kind of potentially naturalised male example of humanness. That means a male descendant of, say, a European naturalised individual. Now, when this gets about, when you get to the 150 plus year mark of naturalisation in Australia, they're a really, really difficult thing. They're like, you know what I mean? It's like they're like a dingo, basically. As far as humans go, there's the Aboriginal men, which in their ideology are the lowest of the low. There's the Aboriginal women, which are lowest again, and this is by the newly arrived European descendant women. This is their ideology, I guess. They've taken a few steps into even more extreme terms. Now obviously turning on existing European descendants with fury and fervour. And it is just, I think it's time that we start educating the children as to the real dangers of their environment. Because if we don't do it, then we're going to all die, inevitably. So one of the major things that you'll get told to you about Aboriginal people is that they practice infanticide. Not obviously if you go into a Yothu Yindi concert, but if you go look in a history book about the reasoning behind said colonisation, and so to this cohort, there's a mass actual celebration of infanticide in the form of abortions. It's really difficult though to see long term how this is all going to work, because it requires constant slavery and constant genocide. So you'll notice there's a lot of people waving Palestinian flags because there's a very, very visible potential genocide going on there. And everyone knows about it, which means that no one knows about any of the other things that are most definitely happening in the rest of the place. So let's look at this. Let's do like a pie chart of the world, okay? This is the world. Everyone should know what a pie chart, especially European descendant women, because they love eating pie and they have an abundant supply of pie, unlike children in Gaza. So this is the genocide taking place in Gaza right now. It's about this much of the proverbial genocide pie, something that I wouldn't like to participate in eating, but that would be about it. Now, this means, let's be reasonable. Let's say 8% of global genocide right now is taking place in Gaza. Now, the problem is that 98% of people's awareness of genocide going on in the world right now is revolving this 8% portion of the pie. which means that, 92% of genocide on planet Earth right now, nobody is aware of. No one even knows where it is, including in Australia, being undertaken by self-appointed master race, white, European descendant, blonde-haired, blue-eyed, female occupants. So that's a problem. That's a large problem. And I think it requires, I only had dentistry work done when I was being taken to the dentist by my mother unawares. Because on something's day, they're gonna catch you unawares. Bananas. Why do they catch you unawares? Well, you can't catch me unawares now. Too clever. I'm too much of an adult. My naturalized Australian brain has settled into its environment, and it's very hard to catch me unawares. You have to go into an elaborate fucking thing to catch me unawares. And then that really says more about you than it says about me. If you've gone to such lengths to catch me unawares, and I happen to be catching you unawares by catching me unawares, and then saying, why did you have to catch me at all? Why did you have to catch me at all? Jesus Christ. See, the problem is it's always the same, but there's always different ways to expose it. So say in 40, whenever it was, 40 something, we all barged into fucking Berlin and found Hitler dead in a bunker. Apparently, although we didn't. Apparently something else had been organised and we shipped him off to Argentina. And then, I don't know, take two is the European female-led invasion of Australia. And the whole fucking keep your eyes on Gaza. Don't look anywhere else. Don't look anywhere else. It's all just Gaza. 2 flags on a bridge. There couldn't be a genocide taking place anywhere else. But the problem is, what do you all want with Australia anyway? You know what I mean? You all just sit inside and watch fucking TV and fucking order Uber Eats. It's hardly Australia. In the case of my children's mother, she went outside once in the middle of summer and got 3rd-degree burns. It's like, what are they doing here? What are they doing here? What kind of message is that? Really? It's like, we're going to have to get to this now. You can't use the entire resources of the state in a mass fucking absolute, invasion tactic of saying, there's a fucking thing. They're the baddies. There's a virus. They're the baddies. What? Fuck off. And then it's like, what did you all do? Horrific things. Because why? Because the person I didn't vote in said, they're the baddies. We've got to get down to these simple things. There's a virus. It's going to kill everyone. They're the baddies. The people that think they can survive the virus without our magic are the baddie. If that isn't some type of Catholic fucking super fucking event, you know what I mean? It's like, have you all gone to Hillsong and sung fucking Chariots of Fire or whatever they sing? Swing low, sweet chariot. Have you done that? Yes, you have. Yes, you have. That's what that vaccine fucking thing was about. Every single thing I said about the demographics I said it about, all must be true. Otherwise, I'm just the best guesser in the world. I just guessed. As soon as my children's mother starts, that's IRA. That's the Irish Republican Army right there doing this. Because she was too good at it. If she was that good at her job, I would never have left her. So apparently she just got trained into basically being a super saboteur in the 3 years that we'd been split up, and specifically knew exactly how to completely sabotage my entire life while a big portion of the country was stomping my head into the ground. There is no other thing apart from genocide to call this. It's exactly called genocide. When I've got my 17-year-old daughter having a go at me about this shit, it's like, sweetheart, We've lived in Australia for a long time. Your stupid, retarded mother can't go outside in fucking summer for more than fucking 15 minutes without getting third-degree burns. She's a Nazi. She doesn't know she's a Nazi. And then on top of that, she's part of one of the most fearsome fucking terrorist groups in the world, which is the Irish Republican Army. And they got a big old head start. That means you're fucking being held hostage in a fucking terrorist fucking supercell that's being rented in fucking Midland. Now, when we re-say all these things, we get to a point where we go, oh my God, how are we going to fix all this? Well, we need to fix it all by having some type of fucking mass surrender. You need to all surrender. We're not having this place turn into fucking Nazi fucking city because it just doesn't work. It doesn't work. You can't have blonde. Like, this is the peak of fucking Nazi retardation. Is this? You're trying to set up an intensive care unit for Nazis. And then the problem is, it's like, well, I've got blonde hair. Blonde as the fucking rising sun, I tell you. Go look at the photo I shared today of me as a kid. I had blonde hair. If I go out in the sun, I have blonde hair and green eyes, which is pretty much blue. It's the same. It's like, I'll go out in the sun and I'll turn into a fucking Aryan super god. And this is the dumbest. It's like, so they've gotten down to just insanity. Insanity. And then there's just the feminist cult of like, everything's a threat. This is like everything that people have been like subtly whinging about, that women and whatever, precious and their fucking thing, and they're scared of everything. But you're all collectively done it. And you made something up. And you all actually fucking poisoned yourself and your children because you were scared of something that people made up. And we've got real shit here to be afraid of. It's like, that's what you all did to my mum. You were all afraid of my mum because she had a bit of attitude. You know what I mean? She was expressing like the thing of the time. If my mum was raised in California, she'd probably be in the fucking Mamas and the Papas or something like that. But she was here. So a bunch of old fucking scabby witches decided that she was fucking ill and decided to drug her. It's this. It's the fucking, what's it called? Ouroboros. It's the snake eating its tail. But the problem is that in this country, right, they already had snakes here. The Aboriginal women were already pretty handy with fucking killing snakes, especially fucking Nazi snakes. So it's like, that's the problem. You can't. We're the same fucking snake. We're the same thing. And it's like, unfortunately, you played around with my snake a little bit too much and it gave you 3 kids. Supposedly, you know. Should we get a DNA test done? Should we do that? Are we at that stage yet? If you're turning my fucking children against me, do we get a DNA test now and fucking prove the fucking thing once and for all? You're all obsessed with fucking all this shit. I never did, despite, you know, obvious need to, probably. I probably should have. But do I do that? I don't know. Does the weight of the entire fucking country depend on these things? I don't know. It's hard to know when the person that's attacking you says nothing because they're behind a fucking balaclava that's being celebrated by a fucking shit rap group coming from Ireland. Oh, it's hell funny, guys. It's fucking hilarious. You know what I mean? I'd love to just have kneecaps sitting on a fucking bench and I'll fucking talk to them like I'm their soccer coach and have them in fucking tears. Like, what are you doing? Who the fuck do you think you are? Yeah? You've spread your little bullshit out a little bit too far. You're not in a little fucking village on a fucking stupid fucking island off to the left of fucking England. You've spread this out all around the world. You little pale-faced fucking zero eyebrows cunts. Come down here and fucking meet me in the fucking midday sun, you fucking cocksuckers. You're crisp like a little fucking frizzled fucking piece of bacon grease. So what the fuck is this all about? The Nazi ideology only works in fucking Europe. in the Northern Hemisphere where it's cold and dark and all those things. It doesn't work here, you fucking cocksmokers. No matter how many fucking bleach blonde fucking bimbos we see running along bikinis and fucking Bondi, it's not ever going to work here long term because it's really fucking sunny and hot. So what's happening? What are you all doing? Do you know what I mean? You're doing the stolen generation again, but as Irish people, to your own fucking kids. It's like you either leave and take our fucking elevated fucking gene pool fucking children to Ireland where they'll be fucking, you know, huge, tall, fucking tanned fucking monsters, or you let their father explain to them that the country that they're currently in is not fucking Ireland, whether it be north or south. It's called Australia. Every single person and family that has moved here inevitably is on some type of fucking genealogical fucking trail to turning out to be an Aboriginal. Or we're not. What is the story we're telling about fucking Australia? Is it just a permanent fucking utopia of blonde-haired, pale, blue-eyed fucking alcoholic Irish people? I don't think it is. Obviously, I'm going to have to tone the language down if I get a big van and fucking, you know, put puppets on my hands and tell them about fucking this. But that's not appropriate. So what is appropriate? Maybe conversation? Maybe at some point, conversation. I don't even trust your ability to use the English language because it's your second language. Let alone trusting you to go forward and fucking do any of this with paperwork and judges. And it's like that. This seems to just be a turnstile government and a turnstile judiciary. And that's like, I'm not necessarily critiquing the entire judiciary because obviously I'm still free and able to do this. So based on that, I can kind of surmise that maybe there has been some attention done to this. Like, oh, holy shit, I think he might be right. We better just let him fucking keep going. He seems to be managing everything pretty well. Because otherwise, what else would I guess? I'm like, I don't know. It has to be something like that, doesn't it? At this stage, if I'm still here doing this every day and you're still sitting there with a balaclava on saying nothing, you know, there's an attempt, like you've destroyed massive assets of both of ours in order to appease your nothingness. That's a precedent that we really need to understand. What made all the women reject the most, like, I was going to say valuable, and in a sense valuable, you know what I mean? There's a few fucking skill sets I had under my belt. There's a few fucking pieces of awareness I had about this place and about the things. So the most established individuals, you all collectively, because one fucking cocksucker said to, you all fucking did this with no comment. This can't have happened at any other point on Earth, in the world. It can't have. I'll go pull up my court documents where I'm sitting in there saying, they said, you said it was a war. I'm like, yeah, it was a war. Obviously, it's a war. But somehow me saying it's a war is some type of fucking breach? No, it's a war because I said it's a war and because they've always been trying to be at war with us. And now everyone's stuck because it's like, well, what is the crime for using assets of a country you're trying to invade to get, like, that's some really fucking serious crimes. I think all I've been doing is defending with my own voice and my own observations. And then no matter which way we spread it, it's like, do we fucking send those two morons back to fucking Ireland, right? And then we've got 3 children between Ireland and here, where Ireland's fucking entire fucking global example now is this. Fucking kneecap, fuck yeah, blah, blah. Like, fuck off. You don't get it. You don't fucking get it. This is the problem. We're not allowed to say that Irish people are stupid, but they're obviously fucking stupid. So where do we go from there? If the major problem is that the Irish people are fucking stupid, but we're not allowed to say that the Irish people are stupid, then what do we do? How about we just have a competition where my children's mother and I just sit outside in the sun for fucking 2 hours and see who wins that? And we swim out to a fucking rip. We go and walk through a desert. We go and fucking chop a tree down. We go and find food in the fucking thing. We go and do anything apart from distribute fucking Chinese fucking groceries in a fucking Chinese-owned fucking grocery chain while driving a fucking Chinese car. Do you know what I mean? We're going to have to get to this stage. Australia wasn't already built. You all have a problem because of something that happened in fucking Ireland that I barely understand because I'm not really all that Irish. Like the thing, it's like you've targeted a family that left Ireland and came here and built things. So it's like, what the fuck is your fucking problem? The ways that it's like that, I just cannot actually believe that this is what women's equality has gotten to. It's gotten to like, you can use the resources of the country, you can benefit, live under the fucking roof, be completely supported through what could have easily been like a teenage pregnancy fucking horror story that wasn't that. It wasn't that. So you go through that little storm, then you pop your head out because you can't, I don't know, you just can't integrate. And then the first chance you get, you enact full fucking warfare to the height, the most high watermark, the most extreme way. And you just jump on that. There's going to have to be a sorting out of this mess. Like there is no, whatever we're looking at Australia, where our Prime Minister is propping himself up saying that he's in a position to be able to judge a fucking war of like, literally the area that it's going on in is like this big. It's like a tiny little fucking area that is so complicated because the Islamic world just keeps sending people there. They're built. That's like, it's like if we, I don't know, it's like that's the front line. But then the main way that the Islamic world is fighting it is by fucking completely hijacking our entire media system and our political system. Yesterday, I wrote breaking news. And it's like, this is pretty much every day. All I see is Palestine, Gaza, Palestine, Gaza, Palestine, Gaza. So obviously when that's happening, something like this can't fucking get through. But something like this getting through is part of us having a healthy fucking democratic system and a healthy country because we're not fucking in Gaza and we're not in Palestine and we're not in Israel. So the problem is that, like I said with the weather map, fucking 98% of global genocide is being ignored so that you can all worship this tiny little portion of genocide that has far different things going on. To steal land. Provably. If it's happening in this one case, and this is the worst problem of all, and this is really like, this is like where we have to get to bargaining. We have to be like, listen, and this is to my children's mother, what you tried to do, right? Whether it works or not, it will end up getting you and your entire family killed by certainty because you are not fit to live in this country. You are not like you have not acclimatized to the Australian climate in all meanings, all senses of the word. So the same thing, you are paving the way to be overrun by Middle Eastern fucking migrants 10 years down the track. What you have attempted to do to your children's father, will be done to your children and to you if you don't surrender and agree and appease whatever you need to do. If you I'm saying go back to fucking Ireland, get them all to paint a fucking pretty picture of you on a fucking wall that says this is the fucking Queen of Ireland that tried to kill a fucking naturalized Australian man to make a homeland for the Irish people that they couldn't even live in because it's too hot. And that's like a type of Irish thing. Like, look at you two and Bono. If Bono can be fucking world famous as an Irish person, I'm certainly sure that you can, because you're way cooler than Bono once you get back there. Once you fucking realize that terrorists can't actually win in the long run. And then we get to then compare what you've done to fucking hang gliding in and killing people at a music festival. And we get to go, well, it's been way more effective to getting the message out. And you didn't kill anyone, so you're way better. But you just can't really continue to live here after doing this. Because that needs to, like, otherwise you're going to open the door for the other fucking nationalities of the world, which are way bigger, scarier, and able to be adapted to here way more than you are, to do the same thing to your children. So it's short-sighted strategy by, you know, a real go-getter. She really fucking gave it her all. But I don't see any other way to go forward. Like, and basically it's like you're leaving me in a weird thing. So it's if I think of the same thing, when I play around and say, oh, I'm going back to England or Tasmania. So right, I go back to England or Tasmania. It's like, well, then no one's there and you are absolutely useless in doing any of this shit. So then obviously you're like killing my family. So you've convinced me for over a decade to sterilize myself, to appease your fucking superiority complex of elevating our 3 children to the pinnacle. Then you're going to basically take our children on a suicide mission where they're inevitably going to be fucking consumed by invaders using the techniques and tactics that you've legitimized in the country. That's why we need a van that has a puppet so we can explain the dangers of European women that have not fucking integrated into this country. Before anyone goes and waves their fucking Nazi white supremacist fucking bullshit around next week, how about you get to the most destructive elements that we have right now, which is white fucking women that have got here 20 minutes ago. And I'm sorry that that's what it is. But it's just less likely. It's like, yes, there are some Middle Eastern women going and doing it as well. There's a lot of, like, you know, Middle Eastern looking fucking warlord women looking to really, really fucking get our attention about some tiny little thing that's going on over there instead of doing anything else. It doesn't look like they're saying go there. It's like, it looks like they're saying we're going to conquer here while our people are being sacrificed there. It's like we're fooling them. And then the recent arrivals, the Irish fucking women are just there being like, yeah, we're all sisters in arms. You fucking think you're sisters in arms? Are you kidding? It's absolutely ridiculous. Nothing can happen unless there is conversation and dialogue. I can't believe every time I look at my diary, I'm like, it's really been 3 years, over 3 years with no dialogue, and I've been shipped around all over the fucking place. How on earth does our so-called democracy weather through this with constant fucking exposure to how fucking inadequate it is, of how illegitimate it is? Based on our rules. And it's easy. You just keep going, well, their rules are fucking, that's colonizer rules. What? Does everyone understand that, like, if like, why, if we're for these evil colonists, why did we end slavery in Africa? Why did we fund migration strategies from Ireland during the famine and from northern Scotland during the famine? Why did we support Aboriginal people for all this time? Why didn't we just wipe them off the face of the earth? Why did we let fucking Italians here if we just fought a war against them? Why did we let Irish here if they were blowing up our fucking buildings? That's not really conforming to the story that you're all telling about us. Why did we let these Middle Eastern people here, who have completely hijacked our entire media system and our political system and our bridges? Why? If we're these evil fucking totalitarian colonizers. None of it adds up. Why am I here talking every day, and any of the people that have attacked me and stolen from me, they aren't? So inevitably, we're exposing that there is a non-democratic phenomenon happening, all disguised by this kind of this weird competition going on, like with politics, where it's like they're just like, we just have to just keep looking like we're fucking, like we're the people that need to be here. We've had our election. Yes, we outsourced it to Singapore, but we've had our fucking election. We're just sweeping up. We've got our fucking badges on. We fucking belong here. Unfortunately, it's just, it's all really easy to see. The number one threat to all Australian men of any fucking race, religion, creed, age, nationality is women. On a sliding scale, it's like recently, migrated European descent women is going to be the largest threat to all men in this country. And here we are, we're in a position where I'm saying that, and I'm like, I'm not saying let's vaccinate against them. Doesn't that get to the point of it? We've got to eradicate this virus. We've got to fucking completely... Well, I'm not saying that because that's insane. Do you know what I mean? I'm saying we have a van where we educate people to the dangers of fucking recently migrated European descent women. Because we can't eradicate them, because that's genocide. Despite the fact they're clearly, provably trying to genocide us, that's the whole definition of domestic violence, isn't it? My version of domestic violence, if spoken through my story, is I was doing my best to raise 3 children and a quite aggressive woman, to keep us all and for all these things. And almost weekly, I would have to fucking take fucking full-on punches to my face, sometimes while driving, full-on fucking freakouts so I've known who the most, but she just couldn't inflict damage on me. It's like a cat. There's the thing, like house cats will 100% kill and eat you if they were big enough. And that's exactly the same thing with these recent European women. They will kill and eat you if they're big enough, and they don't grow, well, leave that out, but they grow by getting together. But there aren't enough of them, so they inevitably have to recruit women from other cultures. But the problem is that those women from the Middle Eastern cultures, they're being sent there by men to keep this going. The enemy of your enemy is your friend. So they're convincing women to continue on with their genocide so that their men can fucking overtake the whole thing. And we've got a line in the sand. It's like, if discussion between our own fucking descendant group, our own European cohort, does not begin very shortly, then we will be forced to have to kill the Middle Eastern men in our country. Like that. Because it's a line. It's already been crossed. It's already clear and fucking present fucking danger. And it won't be a terrorist attack. It'll be a full military operation where we wipe them off the fucking thing. We push them into fucking whatever and we send them to go and fight their fucking holy war in the Middle East. So who is causing that? The European women. So the only way that we can fight this war is to clearly fucking expose what's actually happening. We need our women to stop trying to kill us. We need our women to realize that they are fucking far more helpless than they would ever believe. They need to stop ganging up and trying to genocide to appease the fucking wishes of Middle Eastern men that have moved here. And we're not fucking around with it. We're not in the UK with all this political correctness. We're in Australia where we almost, 20 minutes ago just completely wiped out an entire race. That you're now fucking swimming backstroke in the fucking 5-star hotel pool that we built. Trying to start a fucking revolution on your fucking phones in between getting fucking pedicures. I don't think so. Until you all start recognizing the actual fucking thing that you're doing, it will continue on. We need to penalize this type of activity. You cannot move here and fucking steal children with your womb. You can't. All I need to do is go and find a Middle Eastern family where the woman has been stoned in the fucking streets, or an Irish family where the woman's been beaten to within an inch of her life, and say, so you came from this, and you use the entire power of the fucking state to completely destroy my fucking life because I shared a photograph. What type of message are you fucking sending? And now remember that we have fucking 2 sons together. It is cowardice across the board and stupidity. And it's my job, basically, to make sure that the large cohort of cowardly, fucking stupid morons in our country don't lose our country. And in the process of doing that, I'm trying to not end up with multi-generational on-flow effects from this. But it's getting harder and harder by the day. Because how do I do this? Because you're not just attacking me. Every time you fucking do anything to me, you're attacking our entire family. And it's so moronic and stupid. And to the people, our so-called leaders of this Labor Party, whatever, it's like, you are the most disgraceful fucking group of fucking cowards I've ever fucking laid eyes on. You were sitting on foundations laid by people that actually fought for like real things. Really, that defended real things. For people actually doing it tough. People like fucking shearers that spent all day bent over lifting fucking sheep up to send wool off to fucking England. And you've turned a party that was built to do that into a fucking terrorist organization that is hijacking the world's media. The only thing that without that, there is no such thing as democracy. So it's illegitimate from top to bottom, across the board. Just a constant flow of people and money and drugs and guns and filth. And I can tell you 100%, it's like the most dangerous idea in the world is that women are harmless. And more importantly, women that look like you are harmless. They're not. They're not at all. Women's equality means equality. It means you have to fucking explain what exactly you're doing in the framework that I'm presenting. I can't even imagine flipping this. I cannot imagine for in a million years me doing this. I mean, basically, it's like the only way I could ever hope to do this in Ireland was to be supported by an entire fucking thing. Like, you couldn't do it. And so I'll give it to the Irish and to the IRA. It's fucking efficient. Yeah? It's really efficient to send women to do men's work. God damn, it's efficient. Because you just used all our resources against us. Clever. I'll give you that. But what happens when we do the same thing? What happens when we send clear messages? You know, like the terrorist fucking things that you've all been doing. Oh, we've sent a clear message by blowing that fucking hotel up, and we should have fucking killed Thatcher, you know. Because we can't fucking build our own shit. But we're damn good at fucking taking a lunchbox in and fucking trying to kill an old lady. As soon as we start playing your game, everybody's fucked. Everybody's fucked. You know, what is it? 20,000 fucking Middle Eastern men killed? Yours sincerely. We're bringing awareness to the Irish Republican Army's invasion of our country, or attempted invasion. From Ireland with love. There you go. Fuck, it's just like, I can just read it all now. I can read the headlines. Like, Ireland sends fucking women to try and invade a fucking country. And now I've got to spend the next fucking 3 hours, because this is my job. Because I'm an owner of Australia, when we maintain ownership of Australia, I make money. See, that's a type of equation that people just don't understand. When you are a terrorist and you sabotage our country, you lose everybody money. This is a baseline financial argument. It's like, this is what I tried to teach you for 10 years. So everyone that owns a piece of Australia inevitably will get to the point where they're supporting me because I'm protecting Australia and their ownership of it. And I'm increasing the value of that by making it secure. And that's how it works. That's how I'm making money. Do I make cash to go and buy vodka? No, I don't. I don't make cash to go and buy fucking Russian vodka. If I make improvements to the property that I own, I'm making money. The problem is, like, when we're confused about the country, Australia, because we don't teach the history enough, we don't teach anything enough. So the people that are coming here, especially European people that already have a bit of a fucking bee in their bonnet, are starting off completely disadvantaged. For a start, if you were an Irish family and you moved here like 100 years ago or 120 years ago, you'd be farmers. And nothing's really changed. This isn't New York City. It's never going to be New York City. So we don't need this fucking city here. We especially don't need a fucking vomited fucking urban sprawl, whatever the fuck it is here. It makes no sense. It doesn't do anything. It's a self-fucking sustaining fucking mythology. To put it plainly, it makes absolutely no sense. Secondly, if you're an Irish family you sure as fuck aren't getting a fucking house. And if you think about a rental crisis, it's like there were no rentals. But we don't have a housing crisis. We have a misunderstanding at scale in this country. Everyone for thousands of years know it's like if you want a house, you go and fucking build a house. Yeah. No one has any excuse. If you fucking take your alcohol budget for fucking 6 months, you will buy a piece of land. Yeah, it won't be where you want it to be. But that's been the same with everyone. That's why you're not in Ireland. There are no fucking shortcuts in life. There is no rule, but it's like where it's almost like we're being good parents. We take the kids to fucking sports games. We sacrifice our life so our kids can have a wonderful fucking utopian childhood. But they're not having a wonderful utopian childhood because you're trying to kill their father and then explain to them how that's your fucking God-given fucking meaning to live because you're extremist fucking terrorists. And it's like, whether, sometimes I laugh if I think about if you actually kill me and then the inevitability of your kids going like, our actual dad knew how to do everything. The dad that you found us only knows how to drink and look at fucking teenagers on the internet. Like, you don't get to whitewash all this shit away. It's why immediately there needs to be a female fucking parliament in this country to iron out. You've all avoided the ironing. It's like, well, get in there and fucking do the real ironing because it's fucking creased as fuck and you need to fix it all. This is 100 years of female fucking lunacy. So get in there and fix it. You want to have a fucking Irish Republican Army fucking party? Have it. Get in there. Start talking. That's what needs to happen now. Sing about my bloody fucking murder from the fucking rooftops while you're fucking ringing the fucking church bells. I don't give a shit. But you need to fucking start talking about it. And you need to make decisions on your own, whether like that's something that you can actually do here. And you need to understand that you get away with a fucking shitload because of your pale fucking skin and your fucking blonde hair and your blue eyes. You get away with a fucking shitload. All of you do. Like, just so much. And the problem is that the world fucking sees those things and they start thinking that we're like that. It's like, we're not doing that. It's not us. It's our women. And they've created a self-serving fucking political fucking class. It's not entirely like, it's not like eugenics, it's not fucking Nazi shit. It's just that it keeps being allowed because what do? This is why do we think we have a massive domestic violence thing? Because they've reframed what domestic violence means. I've gone from, in my lifetime, the joke being about Irish people beating their wives, right, to me sharing a photograph of my children on Facebook being classed as domestic violence and me getting 9-month fucking suspended sentence for it. Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, I'm just talking shit. I'm talking absolute fucking shit. It's absolutely bonkers. Yeah, oh God. God, how dare I make such such observations about our society. It's just continue on, isn't it? Continue on down the fucking road. It's all good. And it actually exposes the main thing. It's like, because doing something is way harder than doing nothing. But this entire place revolves around people doing things. And I've never stopped. But clearly there is an attempt to prevent anything I do being actually taken seriously. And that attempt, majoritively, has been led by my children's mother, who is actually doing nothing but going along with it. On my timeline, it goes from us having quite good discussions about our 3 children. Let's do slowly the mandates are creeping in. Okay, we're having a discussion about our children. This is kind of normal. I even remember us having a little tiff, and this is on documented on fucking my message history. I even remember saying something like, I was uncertain about my fathering things, and she assured me that I'm a good father and that I'm doing this. Then the mandates come in. Then total fucking utter fucking warfare enacted. It's not hard to see. We've got to get to the place. It's like, you tried it, we stopped it, you need to fucking acknowledge it, and you need to fucking sort out whatever is going to happen. And it needs to be a mass fucking movement of whatever to appease the fucking mistakes that you've made. All of you. We're not in New York in the fucking 50s or whenever it was, whenever there was this Irish fucking thing. Because that's what you think you've done it. You think you're like, yeah, you've done, but you haven't done it. The difference between North America when this happened and here is that North America is in the Northern Hemisphere. It's fucking cold. Here is hot. It doesn't make sense at all. And you haven't had long enough here. And we set the entire structure up differently. And we've known that you were going to do it for a fucking 150 years. So we've got to get to a point. It's like, I basically think that we need to flip the entire fucking Palestine-Gaza situation and the fucking Jewish thing and the fucking Islamic thing, and we need to turn that into an Irish thing, and we need to send all the fucking Irish people home in one big fucking go. All of them. To go and fucking punch it out in the fucking streets. Because we're fucking sick of fucking carrying the fucking load of that shithole in every fucking other place on earth. We're sick of you jumping on every fucking bandwagon to try and appease your fucking hatred of the British people, which have helped you just as much as they've supposedly hindered you. They fed you. They fucking clothed you. They gave you work. They gave you places to live. No one is stopping you from going and fucking etching out your own little piece of Australian paradise. But you want to fucking squat here and fucking destroy our country and eat it from within. And I'm sick of the fucking white supremacist racist bullshit overseeing all of this shit. I'm absolutely sick of it. Do you know why? Because we live in a fucking sunburnt country. We live in a black country. Ireland has no problem if all the Irish people return there and kick everyone else out. Send them down here. You know what I mean? Happily we'll fucking exchange that, people. What is the total fucking Irish population of the world? Great Britain seems to do a pretty good job at holding all those people. It's like, you can hold all those people. You can figure out all that shit. And then a full fucking embargo on the fucking Irish people. Let's see what they do with their own little fucking country now that they've got it. I can't wait. All that fucking Irish ingenuousness, just all fucking anyone who interrupts Ireland being Ireland, we will stop them. It's time to go home, all of you. This doesn't count any Protestant fucking families that got here before all this fucking shit. But if you're a fucking true blue fucking Irish Republican, then head back to fucking Ireland. We'll do an exchange program. Every 2 Irish back, we'll take one immigrant here. The ones that you don't want. Because they're black. Let's see. Let's make fucking Catholic Disneyland in Ireland. We just turn all the cameras off. It was like when someone goes back there in 50 years, it's just 2 Irish women fucking fighting each other to the death on a fucking rock. What happened? She fucking there. That's what's going to happen. Still blaming the English. Or maybe it won't. See, maybe that's racist. Maybe I'm being racist. I think I just want to see my children's mother on the dental van. Yeah, the dental van. Look it up. On the kneecap video clip. I think that would be great. Maybe she could show them how to fucking pencil their fucking eyebrows on, since they haven't got any. They look like they've been underground. They look like they've been fucking, you know what I mean? Like fucking kneecap. And that's the problem. It's time, I think, for this naturalized Australian here to fucking embrace his naturalization. And I'm going to just start being racist against fucking pale people that don't have eyebrows. Because they clearly don't belong here. Unless we plant more trees, which I'm trying to do. So I'm trying to create, somewhere for the Irish people, but we need to plant trees first because the Irish people cut down all the trees. So as soon as we plant trees again, then it will be safe for Irish people to migrate here. And it's like there are actually effects like this. If you move to the wrong climate. See, my family did it correctly. We moved from England, which is cold, to Tasmania, which is cold. And then we built a city, slowly but surely, right? And then my dad kind of, after World War II, just fucking took off and toured around, whatever. But it didn't really go all that well for him. He kind of landed here, whatever. And I think he had this whole thing of like, he couldn't go back because of, it's complicated. If you leave the fucking little island, you know what I mean? There's a whole thing going on there so he was part of that. But my instinct has obviously been to return to the fucking place that's cold. But also, I've naturalized here a little bit. So I am a bit more naturalized to the fucking Australia that we actually live in. Because I've done it in like a 200-year loop. Like Tasmania is hotter and drier than England is. It snows less in Tasmania than it does in England. So they'd already moved somewhere warm. And then being born here and left in the bush, I naturalized here. And then I even moved north a little bit to where it was hotter and drier again. And I spend a lot of time outside. We forget sometimes that we're actually fucking like animals. We're actual beings. If you take a fucking polar bear and stick it in the fucking desert, it's going to get cranky. And this is the same. If you take a fucking Irish fucking rap group that don't have eyebrows and stick them in the fucking desert, they're going to be cranky as well. There'll be a solution. There'll be a solution through all of this. The problem is that we're in this interconnected era. So like when we think of England and Scotland and Ireland, we think of castles and all this shit, but it's like castles don't really work now, obviously, because we're holding to this. So it's like what happens in Ireland in the age of the internet, once all the fucking, once the chip on the shoulder about England is gone? Well, let's find out. NECAP has sent up the bat signal. Let's prod them all back on the fucking shit. Just get back up there. And we'll see. We'll see the glory of Ireland, maybe. And I love that, like, people will call me racist against Irish people. It's like, what do you think fucking, like, the kings of England weren't being a bit nasty to other Englishmen and Scotsmen and all this shit? It's like, this is what happens. People don't fucking, like, the world history is not like a fucking pre-primary class where you've got a really nice fucking teacher who's like, now everyone, we're going to do all this and we're all going to have a great time. And this is your all little precious fucking beautiful little manifestations of love. No, nothing. That is not our history. It's not our history. The Irish people need to go fucking home to Ireland and they need to build Ireland that can maintain the fucking Irish population so that then we can all watch and be in amazement. It's a compliment. It is a compliment. But we can't do anything here when everything we do is getting blown up. And we're in this stalemate between, like, you're not actually blowing things up because you've learnt some lessons. You're just sabotaging any progress. You're preventing anything from happening. You're filibustering our country. And it's like decades will slip away like that. And it has done. I look around here, I'm like, nothing has happened really in 40 years. Nothing. We've just built a lot of fucking prison cells and we call them houses. And we've plugged them all into the internet to entertain all the prisoners. And now it is probably about 300% harder to convince a young Australian person to go and actually try and build something in this country. It's harder to convince them, and then it's legislatively harder for them to actually do it and feel comfortable in their decision. And so what do we have to thank the Irish people for in Western Australia? Well, they cut down all the trees, and then they prevented anyone from basically being able to fucking plant any. Then they force the government to build them houses that they live in to escape the climate. And then they figured out how to war from inside their house. They didn't even have to leave because they just ordered Uber Eats fucking Waypol to fucking do all their dirty work for them. And unfortunately, that is 100% true. And then the kind of answer is like, well, what did you do? I talked a lot to respond to that. That's how I did it. I talked a lot because the only other fucking thing I could have done was called war, and it would have been killing people and fucking destroying things. But because they don't own anything, there's nothing I can destroy. That's the whole thing. That's why we don't negotiate with fucking terrorists. We can't negotiate with terrorists. Terrorism is not a fucking internationally recognized fucking strategy for diplomacy. And because this whole thing started from a terrorist fucking act, in which I pointed out, this is basically, ready? Understand this. This is the actual chain of events, provably, that happened. October 7th, largest attack on fucking Israel since the fucking Holocaust. Lord, just whatever. Hang gliding in, rape, murder, burning people. October 7th, right? On October 7th, Roger Cook, our premier, did a post that said, "Happy birthday to the Bassendean fucking train station," or something like that. And I said, well, that's a dog whistle. I've learned from this extreme left fucking group. So he's dog whistled to all the Nazis in Western Australia that he is actually supporting the fucking attack on October 7th. I said that to him on Facebook, right? Then I was blocked by the Premier, Roger Cook, on October 8th, I'm guessing. He blocked me on Instagram and on Facebook. So that means it's like you can't block your constituency because that means we're not in democracy. That's how easy it was. Now, fast forward to November 4th, which is actually my late brother's birthday. I was in prison for sharing a photograph of my family. Now, what do you think happens, right? If you've been studying the Holocaust and studying all these fucking atrocities, and you've just pointed out that your premier is absolutely a Nazi. Now, you've been arrested and put in a fucking prison for something that is absolutely ridiculous. What is that? Like a month later, less than a month later, on a significant day, on your late brother's birthday, who you've also said was murdered by the pharmaceutical industry. And the pharmaceutical industry was playing a big part in this whole fucking game. You feel like you may as well be in Auschwitz. Every moment of that was like that until it wasn't. So it's like they're doing the Nazi thing just without the killing. Because their hope is that I blow my own fucking brains out. Then there's no fucking war crimes. And that's where we're at. They made a suicide machine. Ingenious fuckers, aren't they, those Nazis? Just make a suicide machine. Take all the intrinsic fucking like father instincts, right? Fruit salad the entire world so that it's absolutely all backwards and ridiculous. And then just supply drugs and alcohol until all the men blow their fucking brains out. So that the Islamists can vacuum up all the fucking children and women that have been horrified by this thing. And then you claim it as that was a weakness in the men, that they've all killed themselves because they can't fucking restrict themselves from drugs and alcohol, and they're all just such shitheads that they blow their brains out. But it's not that. It's you individualize every man, you compartmentalize every single father in the country, and you basically give them this option. It's be Rambo, right? Be Rambo and go and fucking, cover your face in fucking mud and combat this absolute fucking atrocity that's taking place. And that's like, be Rambo. Oh, okay. Be fucking Rambo. And then it's like, what actually happens when you're being Rambo? Then you're splashed on the news as some fucking person. Because there is no story where you're actually going to be Rambo. And being Rambo and actually winning this fucking war is way harder. So I just kept speaking. Just kept fucking mapping this whole thing out. While you're all talking about Gaza, I'm talking about what's the Gaza that's happening here and has been happening here for 3 years. So you either be Rambo or you blow your brains out. Now, all we really need to do is get some key metrics, which I'm sure the West Australian Labor Party and the Australian Labor Party is now in the process of destroying. They're trying to destroy all evidence of who's been in and out of jail, who's had violence restraining orders on them, who has had these fucking things done to them. And then very shortly, we're going to start seeing disappearances. We're going to see politicians just vanish. And my job for now is to think of like, well, in 50 years, if they inevitably try to do this again, how can we educate our children to the dangers of mass formation, majoritively from the female citizens? Because not one female really in my entire network, that I've ever known, really did anything to counteract this. They won't. And this is the problem. This is why it's like we are not at the days where we have female equality, like whatever. It's like we need a female parliament. So it turns out it's like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm being the most fucking feminist person that's ever existed by enforcing a female parliament. And how are you doing that? I'm saying because the women of this country basically tried to genocide the men so that they could end up in a harem of Middle Eastern fucking warlords. Because being in a harem would be fucking amazing. Do you know what I mean? That's the problem. It's all just like that. It's everyone's enslaving everyone else. But you can't have women's equality if you don't have women actually doing what men do. And they don't. The majority of them don't. And they don't want to. That's a lie. Men, because the real thing is like men don't really want to be doing that. Men have instincts to do that, and they're kind of co-opted into doing these things. And so the whole strategy involves lightening the load for men so that they go along with destroying their own fucking country. And then you elevate the shit men, and then their innate fucking jealousy kicks in. Because they all just can't wait to fucking kick someone when they're down. Because they're cowards. But at the end of the day, everyone's going to lose. They're just going to keep pushing them until everyone's replaced. So there needs to be, it's like, this is where at any other point in history, we have a massive fucking war. Surprise attack, war. And that's what we need. And we attribute the war to who it is. It's the European recent arrival women. Doesn't mean we don't kill them. You don't kill women in a war. We just say that it was because of them. So then we're all in the same fucking field, which is the only way that anywhere ever works. See, they've just divided us down to every level. Continuously. Oh, it's the gays. Oh, it's the fucking this. Oh, it's the fucking trans people. Oh, it's the men. Oh, it's the women. Oh, it's the Middle East. Oh, it's the Irish. Oh, it's the innately in all of us, right? We're going to have things that we lean more towards. But they just kept dividing us and then distracting us. And then appeasing our fucking interest to not be informed properly on what our actual behavior is leading to. And all of this is illegal. You're not being police if you're limiting this type of conversation from taking place. You're not preventing domestic violence. You're creating a fucking. You're letting the enemy in the fucking door. And this is the problem when it's like when language becomes used as violence. It's like, what? Language is violence. We're not swallowing this shit anymore. Yeah, this isn't a fucking Codral fucking little spoonful of fucking medicine. If language is violence, then I'd like to bring forward every single woman that's ever said this horrific shit about men that's leading to this fucking hysteria. Because language is violence. It's psychological warfare. From top to bottom, but with no meaning. It's like because the women are disconnected from the actual realities of being without. They're insulated. They're propped up in, like, literally in rooms where they can just enact fucking chaos into the world. And then food is delivered. Alcohol is delivered. But the problem is like we're not using that outwardly to try and like limit our enemies. Like they instantly used it on us. That was the first point. And there's just constantly like an avoidance of referencing the whole thing. Men didn't fucking care about these things. Like, we went along. It's like, oh, the children need to be educated. The children need fillings. The children need this. The children need this. No, because the children need this. And men for the whole time have been saying, no, they don't. Fucking stop fucking pandering to them. They're going to end up being fucking wusses. But then just year in and year out, they just take out the fucking old guys. Or they fucking just torment them until they fucking sit on their hands and fucking say nothing. And then it's like the amount of things. I'd love to hear a woman now that's just given birth. It's like, what does she actually think that her fucking child is entitled to by the government? Just sort of think it's like 11% of fucking children were being paid for being autistic. They're not autistic. They're reacting to fucking warfare. And it's like because the women are fucking literally feeding on their own children. It's like they have to be autistic to be able to defend against their own mothers. Their own fucking abusers. Their own, like, because the system is abusing the fucking children. So when's the first place that they're identified as autistic? When they go to school. Oh, right, the first level of indoctrination. We're now multiple generations into this. Like, do you not realize that we are biological fucking beings, that we will evolve strategies to fucking circumvent harmful things? Whether it comes from other fucking things or whether it comes from our own species. There is a huge inevitable crash that we need to have. There is a hangover. There is a fucking an end. There were systems that were utilized by very high level business people that were savvy and very difficult for them to kind of foresee that those strategies would have so much negative. They weren't concerned about that. They were concerned about protecting their own family's assets, their own family's legacy, their own achievements, and they were building self-serving like corporations and things like that, and financial systems. The problem is that people study each other. So that was been studied by, subsequent generations of this. But that doesn't mean that it always works, because they innovated outside of that and then protected themselves. So when everyone copies it and say it ends up being materializing as a destructive element, then everyone's just copied a destructive element. So we've basically distributed destruction. And then the shortcut is to just blame those individuals. Oh, it was the Rockefellers. It was the Rothschilds. It was this. It's like, yeah, they did a ton of good things as well. Most of you haven't done shit. They lived in a world that didn't foresee these things. They didn't think that chemicals and things could be doing this. They were just self-serving their own financial whatever, which is what everyone was doing. And when they looked around, no one else was doing that. And that's the biggest problem, is that no one is actually looking after their own interests. No one is planting the trees. No one is planting the fucking gardens. No one is planting the thing. No one is building their fucking own houses. This place is a fucking nightmare. The whole fucking thing. We've perpetuated an entire global economy that runs on young women. So it defends and protects young women. Which has been being falsely celebrated by young women as liberation. But it's the complete opposite. It's total slavery, total enslavement. It's it's absolute fucking chaos. It's like, imagine how much damage a fucking drunk driver does. You know, at the high level, from one night of fucking drink driving can do. Then imagine every fucking woman in the country drink driving every night. With the country, with their children in the car. They pulled up, they're blowing this. Oh, you're really drunk. There's my tits. All right, go on. Woo! Just running over fucking children and old people. How many OnlyFans stars are there that drive an OnlyFans? They've got the little camera set up. They're just like, they're doing whatever OnlyFans girls do on the road. There's got to be at least one, hasn't there? And if there's one, there's probably more than one. So yeah. Who knows? Long video today. I'm going to end there. Pretty simple concept, a van that just teaches you about the dangers of women. Because every time I turn on the fucking TV, I see the dangers of men. But the weirdest point is like, well, I'm only doing this to protect my children. Not feed my children, not provide for my children, but to protect my children. Because it's mostly the providing that has been, like, if you provide my children with drugs and alcohol and filth and all these things, Then I have to defend against your providing. This is why I never would ever fucking say providing is a thing that men do. Men don't provide for their children or their wife. They protect their children and their wife and their country and their people. Women provide for themselves. They always have. Sometimes there's like a little bonus thing. So I brought some meat. Oh, cool. It's not just fucking yams anymore. Or in the Irish, potatoes. It's not just potatoes. No, I've got some meat. Oh, wonderful. Oh, you're so fucking lovely. I love how you protect us. You protect us so that we can provide for ourselves instead of being enslaved by people that provide things that we don't need. Yeah. One fucking word difference. So let's do a census right now of young Australian women. What do men do? Do they protect or provide? They provide. No. Fuck off, we do. We may. Sometimes. But that's not what we do. What do fathers do? They protect. And what is the most common way that negative people and whatever are going to infiltrate your children's life? They're going to try and provide them with something, aren't they? So it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's a fucking bag of meth or whether it's a fucking iPhone. It's the same answer on how we fucking protect against it. We blow their fucking brains out.